Hi, I'm Vanessa and I'm joined by our amazing nutritionist, Kirsten, and we are going to have a chat to you today about good mood foods. Diet and lifestyle practices can definitely make a big impact on our mental health, and with everything that's going on at the moment, all these current events, then there's definitely no better time to get started. So let's have a chat about some of the things that we can do, and where's the best place to start?
So I would say the best place to start is with essential fatty acids. So specifically, I'm talking about omega-3s. Our brain is actually made up of 60 to 70% fat. So it's really important to get these essential fats into our brain for the proper functioning of the chemical messengers, which have such a big role to play in regards to our emotions and our mood.
Sounds important.
Yeah, it really is. So the first place I would go to or tell people to go to is our oily fish. So over here we've got some salmon, but you could choose mackerel or sardines. And if you're not one for fish...
Yeah, if you don't like fish, what else could you choose?
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't like fish, there's always chia seeds, flaxseed oil, walnut oil, hemp seeds. There's many different plant-based options that you could go to for that source of omega-3.
And what about some vitamins and minerals? Or let's start on minerals. What are some important minerals that we can include to help our mood?
So the three most important minerals I would say would be zinc, magnesium and selenium, and each play a role in the working of our nervous system and that neurotransmitter production. They're also a great antioxidant source to the brain. So here we have some...
Yeah, we have some different examples.
Let's
start off with just one. So magnesium to begin.
Yeah, so magnesium, we've got over here some examples of good sources of magnesium. So we're looking at spinach, so leafy greens, specifically spinach. Almonds are a great source.
Yeah.
Pumpkin seeds, avocado, brown rice, and even some dark chocolate in there as well. So magnesium, it's got many roles within our body, and in times of stress, we can really deplete our magnesium store. So it's super important to get those dietary sources. The other way you can get magnesium is you can actually absorb it through your skin. So taking a bath with magnesium salts is a really nice way to get more magnesium into your system.
Yeah, and a great stress relief way to end the day as well. Okay, well, let's chat about some of the foods over here. What's in these ones?
So over here, we've got some great sources of zinc. We've got beef, chicken, tuna, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, really great sources of zinc. So if you are actually feeling low, if your mood is low, quite often you can be depleting zinc. So these are the sources that you need to go to replenish zinc.
Yeah, especially in the times of stress too.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and what else do we have? So you mentioned selenium. Now I know that Brazil nuts are quite high in selenium. Is there anything else that we can get it from?
Yeah, certainly. So yeah, as you mentioned, Brazil nuts are a really great source of selenium, and you can have up to 3 a day to meet those selenium requirements. But other sources include mushrooms and tuna also.
And oysters too.
Yes, oysters are a great source.
They're good for zinc as well.
And zinc. They kind of cross, some of these nutrients, some of these minerals will certainly cross over in different food groups. Yeah. So it's important not to get too hung up on which food, because if you eat a diet that's has a wide variety of, you're likely to meet those nutrient requirements. Yeah.
Well, that covers a couple of minerals. Let's talk about some important vitamins to boost your mood.
Yeah, so certainly we would be looking at our B vitamins. So B vitamins, we've got some examples over here. You can get them through chickpeas or bananas, tuna, whole grains, many sources of your B vitamins. And the B vitamins have such an important role in the body. They act as a cofactor to many of those reactions that happen in the body. And they actually help convert our food into our energy. So super important to get our B vitamins. And like magnesium, we can churn through them in times of stress. So really eat a wide range of foods to get those B vitamins into the system.
Yeah, it's also in our red meat as well.
Red meat.
And I did know about the B vitamins, because if you go into the chemist or the supermarket, you can see there's stress relief vitamins in there.
That's right.
So
some people do feel they need to supplement with B vitamins if they're not able to get it through their diet for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
But it's really important to remember with the B vitamins, they work as a team. So they work in synergy together. So always go for a B complex rather than just individual B vitamins.
Good tip. Fabulous. Well, I think some of those things that we mentioned are also really good sources of protein. So do you feel like that's important too?
Yes, I do. Protein is really important for mood, because the amino acids in the protein that we get through our diet help to synthesize those neurotransmitters. And if you remember, we were saying that the neurotransmitters are the messengers through the brain which really control our mood and emotion. So super important.
Yeah.
Great sources. Everyone will be very familiar with, meat, fish, tofu, legumes, which includes chickpeas and lentils and beans, nuts.
Yeah.
All fabulous sources of protein are really important.
Good, and a good variety. So I know we've spoken about some foods to include to help boost your mood, but what are some important ones that we want to avoid?
That's a really good point. It's really important when you are going through a time of low mood or anxiety or a tough time to try and avoid as much as possible those with lots of refined sugars. So over here we've got some examples. We've got juice, we've got sorbet, although delicious, high in sugar, chocolates, cakes, you name it, they're high in refined sugars. And what that's going to do, it's going to wreak havoc with your blood sugars. So you're going to have unstable blood sugars and then crash, and that's going to impact on your mood even further. So it's not saying that you can't have sugar in your diet. That's certainly not what we're saying, or carbohydrates, but just be mindful of how much you actually have in your diet.
Keep it moderate.
Yeah.
And are there any other things that we should avoid?
Yes, I think alcohol is a big one. It really can wreak havoc with your mood, so especially the next day. So while you're feeling low, you might turn to alcohol, but the next day you will crash and you will feel worse. So rather think about what's another choice that you can make instead of alcohol. Going for a walk with friends, exercise, meditation, rather than doing your hobbies. That's
something that you enjoy.
Something you enjoy, that's right.
Okay, well, we've spoken about some of the foods to avoid. I also know that caffeine can affect some people. They can feel quite edgy when they have a coffee. Is that another one?
Yes, so caffeine is a stimulant, and as much as we all enjoy our coffee, if you're feeling anxious or irritable, coffee is only going to exacerbate that. So perhaps if you're anxious, if your mood is low, rather than choosing coffee, go for a herbal tea, a turmeric latte, and to replace that caffeine.
I think some people reach for caffeine for a bit of a pick-me-up. In those moments, I would suggest perhaps going for a healthy snack.
That's right. Some people do really well on just 3 meals a day, and some people can actually fast for a portion of their day and it's not a problem for them. But if you're somebody whose mood is low or tends to dip low, and you tend to get irritable or hangry, cranky in between meals, you're far better off having smaller snacks to get you through and stabilise those blood sugars and keep your mood even.
Yeah, you could have some smoothies throughout the day, some other snacks.
That's right, scrambled eggs on toast, avocado on toast, a handful of nuts and seeds, and they will keep you going to the next meal.
Excellent. Okay, well that is some really valuable information. We've got lots of tips of some good mood foods to add into our everyday. And I also want to just point out that it's also really important for your mental health to release some endorphins and to clear some stress to get moving. So make that a part of your daily practice as well.